All right, this video is about the statistics project for Rodman's class. Different teachers may have different projects, different ways and so forth, but this is mine. And I wanted to explain it a couple different ways in case I don't have time to talk about it or if you need to look at it again. Um, it's called distracted study time. So what you're going to be doing is collecting data yourself on yourself, okay? And you're going to use these data points, data values to complete this project. Everything that you're doing, let me emphasize this, everything that you're doing for this project is also in your homework, is also in the quizzes, is also the final, okay? So everything you're learning here to do this project with is needed for the final, okay? So it's very important that you understand every step of this and communicate with me during this process to make sure um, that you're doing it correctly. Okay. And every little addition you make, every little calculation you make is important that it's accurate because you're going to be using that data to do the next step. So we want to make sure that everything is correct. So on the first step, let me read this data collection. How many minutes do you sit down and work dedicated concentration on your homework without interruption? Look at the time when you start. If you stop working to look at your phone message, to take a call, to take a break, to get something to eat, stop the time and write it down. How long were you able to study before you stopped? Okay. If you listen to music, that's fine while you're studying, but stop the time if you change the channel, if you try to look for another song, anything other than making progress on your homework. Okay. Somebody starts talking to you, somebody walks in the room, you decide to turn the TV on, anything that distracts from you studying and making progress on your homework, stop the clock. Okay. And then each amount of time spent concentrating on your work is a separate data point. So write down the number for each incident until you have 30 data points. That's required, 30 data points. You may have, it's perfectly fine to have repeating times. Um, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 25 minutes, 20 minutes. So here's an example. So I sat down to study and then the phone rang and then somebody came in and then the dog barked and wanted to go out. And then, you know what I mean? Things got in the way. So I need 30 points. Make sure you have enough of a range to make 5 classes out of it. Okay, so if you have to sort of make up a little bit to, to get the 5 classes or repeat something, whatever you need to do, I think it's important if you're unsure about your data points that you ask me if you have enough of a range. You will see when you do the next step whether you do or you don't. So you're just going to write down all 30 values in this box. Okay. This will be given to you as a Word document, as a PDF, or what you could do is just write it on a piece of paper and call this step 1 and then write your 30 data points by hand. Okay. Um, I also did mine in a Google Doc spreadsheet just to try it out. I had never used Google Docs before. So I put my 30 points in here and then hit the sort and it ordered them. And then I colored them just to sort of get kind of which classes I had after I did that. And then I took a snippet shot, which cut off some of the data. You have to have the data in a straight row for it to calculate the things you need for the next steps. So I'll be referring back to this, and then I'll be making another video on how to do it in Excel. Okay. Google Docs was new to me. It's quite intuitive, so it does work. It's free. You have to have a Gmail account that you sign in with, and then hit spreadsheets. And then I did everything I needed to do. I figured it all out, and then I snipped it to take a picture. So if you need to do this for your presentation, you're going to be looking at like that for your presentation of your minutes. And it does have gaps, like a histogram shouldn't have, but I couldn't really help that. I was still able to put my titles on and things like that. So let's go back to this for a second. So step 2 is figuring out your class width. So your class width and all how to do this is on page 5 of lesson 1, a grouped frequency distribution. So all this here is what you need to do to complete this for yourself, for your points, to figure out your classes. So all this information is in lesson 1, okay, to complete this sheet, all right? The grouped mean calculation is in a different lesson on page 3 to figure out how to do the grouped to get the X bar average that you need. Okay, the mean for group data. So we'll be going over these in the lesson. Okay. All right. Next page, step 3 is to actually make your histogram. You can do it by hand. That is the easiest way to do it. But you will need a histogram to display and share as a presentation. That's all I need. I need you to, for every student is going to just put their histogram up and do a descriptive statistics about it and an inferential statistics about it, and that's it. Okay, so I need a visual histogram. However, you can do it. You will need to bring it up on your own computer for the virtual classes and share it. So figure out how to do that. You could do it by hand and then take a picture of it, and then you'll open that picture for your display. Okay, I will be showing you how to do it in Excel. It's quite easy. You might prefer that, so your choice. I need a histogram that you can share with everyone. And then your stem and leaf plot. There is a lesson that shows you exactly how to do a stem and leaf plot. We'll practice that in one of the lessons. And then you need to write your mean, median, and mode from your ordered data. Okay, I think that's in the first, a lot of this is in the first 3 lessons. All right. Then you're going to need your 5-number summary. You're going to make a box plot out of it. Again, you need to do the box plot by hand. I really don't know how else to do it. You need to draw it. Like I said, you can just label this as, let's see, step 3, there's A, B, C, D. Just make sure I understand where it is. Do the calculations for an outlier. Right here is your calculations for a standard deviation. I think that's in lesson 4. And then towards the end of the chapter is a normal distribution with your standard deviations and a few questions. And then when you do your presentation, you're going to give a brief statistical summary of your findings. That's descriptive statistics. And then you're going to infer some things from them when you talk to us. So this is kind of what I'm expecting you to talk about while your histogram is up on display to the class. Okay? Hope that helps.